I'm going to take a minute to let you know that you're going to notice similarities between this video and the following video, and that is because I'm filming both of them at the same time. I saw two movies over the weekend, and I want to do reviews for both of them. Disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about the Eternals. I'm not always innocent of it. I don't always succeed in not being a hater, but I really try not to be a hater. I bring that up because I've been super critical of the MCU, really post Endgame, and that's not to suggest that everything pre Endgame was like amazing. I do think the MCU missed its mark a couple of times. I don't think any MCU movies have been like garbage or like absolute trash or anything like that. I guess I'll just have to be a hater because I did not care for the Eternals at all. I need to get all of this off my chest. I need to get what I do not like about this movie off my chest. And the main problem I have with this movie, it's boring, bro. Oh my god, this movie is so boring, and I'm not used to an MCU movie being boring. MCU movies are popcorn fun. You know, most of them are not that. I am a apologist for the MCU. I will argue that at its best, the MCU has produced movies that really they can run with the best of them. I didn't much care for Black Widow. I didn't much care for Guardians 2. I didn't much care for Thor 3. I didn't much care for Iron Man 2. But I don't remember being bored in those movies. I always enjoy myself. They're fighting these things called the Deviants, right? And the Deviants, they thought they destroyed them. And lo and behold, the Deviants start showing back up again in present day. There's a lot of flashbacks in this movie. So now they got to get the team back together and go search out the Deviants and get rid of them and, you know, save the day all over again. I'm not used to the formation of the team taking so long. We were kind of going Fellowship of the Rings with it, where we're a good portion of the movie is going to be dedicated to getting the group together. More than half of it, more than half of the movie, just getting the group together. Um, Now they have a lot of flashbacks, like I said, and that kind of helps alleviate the problem a little bit because you're switching back and forth between when they were together, and seeing how they were interacting leading up to why they split apart to begin with, to when they come back together, and that pads it a little bit, but oftentimes it's not all that interesting. There are a couple standout characters. I really like Gilgamesh, the speedster girl. She's fun to watch. If I don't have like too much to say about her character. Druig is my favorite. And you know, shoot me if you want to. I'm standing on that. Druig is my absolute favorite. He was a pleasure to watch on screen. I do feel like Kit Harington's presence was kind of wasted. I know his character is being set up for the future, and for all that, you can just introduce him when you're ready to do something with him. I'm not gonna say who he's playing, in case y'all consider that kind of thing a spoiler. When Arishem is on screen, the Celestial that they answer to, it's business. Even from that first time where the screen changes and you see Erishem's face for the first time, I was legitimately blown away. I'm not exaggerating. I was blown away. Credit what credit is due. I think Erishem was established as a mighty screen presence. He has a couple of different moments in the movie. One in particular where Judgment Day. That's all I can describe. It's the freaking rapture. But I really was not blown away by this movie as a whole. There's character depth there that we could get that we don't really get. I don't know if it's because there are too many characters. I don't know if it's just they were less interested in exploring those characters or if they just wanted to hit it on a surface level. Maybe there's stuff planned for the future. I don't know. Um, I think Marvel needs to stop dumbing itself down, bringing in the CGI whatever at the end just to, you know, so we don't have to address the more complex situations going on because the motivation of the villain in this movie is pretty solid. I just wish they had been a little bit better with it, and I wish they had enough confidence in their material to let the character work tell the movie. But that's just part of the Marvel formula, so I guess I've come to accept that, and I guess those are my thoughts on the movie. I go see it for yourself, judge it for yourself. But it's not one of my favorites. It's actually one of my least favorites. And while we're on the topic, everyone panning the movie because of its politics, let that go. There's a gay guy in the movie, and I'm not a huge proponent of identity politics. I think representation being forced into movies, and there are times where that happens, I think that's unnecessary to do. This movie's not doing that. If you gotta find something to complain about, there's plenty in this movie that doesn't work. If whatever. But these simple-minded people who feel like they gotta just destroy something because it doesn't necessarily match with their views, I think that's small. I think that's very small thinking. I think that shows a level of insecurity or whatever. But by that same token, that doesn't mean that any and all criticism is rendered null and void just because there is some progression in the movie. The gay character in the movie does not make this movie any worse than I personally think it is. But it also doesn't make it any better. Like the pacing is still an issue. The random CGI monster that doesn't really mesh well at the end in the third act is still an issue. The lack of character depth, still an issue. All of that. So hop off of Twitter and stop bashing people for occasionally including this kind of stuff in their media. It's their media. They can put in whatever it is they want to put in, whatever. But also stop saying that somebody doesn't have a legitimate criticism for a piece of material just because it happens to have a progressive moment in it. And then maybe we can all find peace. So, go check it out. Render your own judgment. Hopefully Spider-Man No Way Home, is that what it's called? Saves the year for the MCU. Because for me personally, in terms of the movies rather, the theater experiences have not been great for me. All right, that will do it. If you liked hearing me talk about all this nonsense, if you're like my little rant that's going on, and you want to hear me talk about more nerd stuff, like the video, share it, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to, and I'll see y'all next time. Actually, I'll see y'all very soon for The Harder They Fall. All right, later.